Another explanation that I have been wanting to do is to try to explain people. I've seen many channels that try to teach people not to be sad, not to have PTSD, people with out of the normalcy on emotional states. And by emotional states, I mean people in maximum stress, in depression, and in a sense of powerlessness. Because believe me, a lot of people feel some sense of powerlessness, and I'm talking also from my experience. The problem is that there are a lot of hateful people out there, and if you make yourself visible, you will sooner or later encounter hateful people that will try to cause you harm. One of the solutions is not to be exposed, not to be shown to people like that, but sadly, that only makes us weaker. Hiding makes us weaker. And against malicious people on the internet trying to hurt others, all that I can say is that we have to trust in the higher form of the spirit and understand that if something bad is going to happen to us, then we have to be ready for it and try to find the best situation out of it once we are in it. Sometimes I make plans and I try to follow them accordingly to the best path, and I find myself crashing head first with a wall, and once that happens, I look at the wall and it looks giant and looks like if I'm gonna be unable to cross it. That's what happens a lot of time for me, and all that I can say is the best solution is just to stand in your ground and look around and try to find a solution, and if not, a new pathway. So after today, I found a giant wall that I am unable to cross. After a few moments of recuperating and analyzing the situation in a better light, I think that I am able to find a solution to my issue. So what I'm trying to say is that when we find a wall that it looks super big and super thick and we are unable to cross it, the best way is to look at ourselves, to look at the path and try to redirect our, our steps towards a better outcome. Maybe a lot of us people do not need this kind of advices, but when you are starting as a man in 20s, in your 18s, 20s, early 20s, these sort of advices are truly useful. The best way is to have a clear mission on site. When your mission is clear, then it's easier to find the solution and to find the best way to achieve it. That's why it's important not to engage in a fool's errand in order not to lose time, because then it's gonna be hard to return to the path. And what is the path? Well, the path is always better ourselves and create a bubble of protection for the people around us. And a bubble of protection, what protects is a sense of mental stability. But mental stability is not achieved without sacrifice and hard work towards the path. I used to study Sufism, and that have given me a lot of insights into the human condition, the human path, and why it's so important that we focus ourselves in others in order not to be worried about ourselves. Because when we worry about ourselves too much, then we thicken our bubble with a fog and we are unable to look outside ourselves, and that's when we become emotional and easily manipulated. I hope that this little commentary helps you, and I hope that I start getting more subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, introduce me to your friends, and let them know that there is a new YouTuber and it needs help. Mhm. Thank you. Bye.